Hi, my name is Angie, and I'm bringing you this week's devotion. If you're like me, I really don't like to go through troubles, the hard stuff in life, but unfortunately it's inevitable. We all would go through that. There are many things that we can and do go through, such as anger, loss, death, grief, health issues, COVID. I think we all can say that one. The list goes on. These hardships I refer to as valleys. So I want you to take a moment and picture a dry, desolate valley. The kind that it's all brown, there's no live plants, everything is dead. It's very hot, it's very dusty. Kind of like a picture of, when you see those survivalist shows on TV where they've been dropped off in the middle of nowhere. It's just pure misery. Sometimes when we walk through those, we think we're the only one that's going through it. We feel like nobody knows that we're going through it. Nobody's supporting us going through it. We feel like we're the only ones going through that. And at times it can be really painful when we go through those, when we walk through them. And at the point where we've said, okay, I've had enough, I don't want to go through this anymore, we cry out for the change of scenery. We want that rescue boat to come pick us up. But as you begin to look forward, if you take your view off of what's right in front of you, but you put your eyes ahead of you, and out of the distance you begin to see a gaze of something that's a little more enticing. You see mountains. You see beautiful big mountains with green trees on it. You see snow caps on the top of it. But if you continue through the valley, you're going to find a path that's going to lead you up to the mountain. But you have to continue through the valley to get to that pathway. Pretty soon as you've been traveling through this pathway, pretty soon you're noticing that the scenery has changed. You're beginning to see a little bit more green on the side. You're beginning to see some flowers. Pretty soon you're at the top of the mountain. And let me tell you what, the view from the top is just spectacular. It's breathtaking. You take a deep breath, you've got fresh mountain air that you're breathing. The skies are a majestic blue, and you've got big white fluffy clouds all the way around you. And then as you're standing there taking in this whole view, you know what the best part of that view is? It's that valley that you just came from. And it's not because you're looking back at what you went through, but God has given you a different perspective. He shows you that there's beautiful flowers that were all the way around you that you possibly missed. There's a stream running through the valley, big, green, luscious trees. It gives you a different perspective. And it's at that time when we see that view that we see that there was purpose for our valley. Psalms 23:4 says, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. God reminds us that we're walking through the valley. He didn't want us to take up residence in that valley. He wants us to keep our eyes on Him and just keep moving forward as He's walking alongside with us. 3 truths that I want you to remember when you're in a valley. 1, you are not alone. God is always with you. The shadows in your life are the evidence of the presence of light. So how do you deal with a shadow? You turn your back to the shadow and you look towards the light. John 8:12 says, I am the light for the world. Follow me and you won't be walking in the dark. You will have the light that gives life. Second truth is God has a good purpose for your valley. Even when you're facing problems, conflict, fear, grief, whatever that valley is, God is working to create some good from that valley. Romans 5 verses 3-5 says, we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope, and hope does not put us to shame because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. And thirdly, I want you to remember that the reward will last forever. You're going to be rewarded for remaining faithful to Christ in the valley of failure, the valley of fear, the valley of conflict, the valley of 2020. 2 Corinthians 4:17 says, "For our present troubles are small and won't last very long, yet they produce for us a glory that vastly outweighs them and will last forever." John 16 also tells us, "In this world you will have troubles, but take heart, for I have overcome the world." I hope this gives you encouragement today as you may be walking through a valley. Just remember to focus on God, not your circumstances, because our circumstances are temporary, but God is eternal. Be blessed.